got all this stuff. Does the money now just fall in my lap, right? Or is there something else you have to do?
Oh, that was next. I was coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Listen, we here.
let's dive in.
Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. So you did all the heavy lifting, right? You got your personal credit structured. You got your personal credit repaired. You now have a business that you spent $250, $300 max to go ahead and structure. Now the next step is going out and leveraging all these things to get access to capital. This is where a lot of people trip themselves up at. Because the biggest question I get is, what banks do I go to? What do I say when I go to the banks? Do I wear a suit? Do I got a call? Do I sit an appointment? What happened? What goes on? It's very, very straightforward. So the first thing I try and tell individuals before they start applying for funding anywhere is to look at the banks that you already have relationships with. The reason why is because getting access to capital is a very relationship-based thing, especially for a lot of these different lenders. If you have person A and person B, right? Person A has everything, follows the first 3 steps that we talked about, right? And so does person B, but person A, let's say they have these 3 banks that they already have long-standing relationships with. Year after year, they've had personal checkings and business checkings they've deposited money into on a consistent basis. When they come and they say, hey, let me get 50,000, let me get 25,000, it's a lot easier for them to get approved for those things versus person B, even though person B has all the things that person A has on the back end. But if they don't have those relationships beforehand, it could be the difference between them only getting 2,500 versus them getting 15, 20, 25,000. So that's typically, even in our funding firm right now, one of the things we do is we want to look at what are all the banks that you already have a relationship with, because we may have these 8 to 10 lenders over here, but if you're partnered with these 3 lenders here, well, let's go to them first and see if they got something for you before we bring you over here to these lenders that you don't have a relationship with. Now, if you don't have a relationship with any banks, then that's pretty much where we want to start, right? It's as simple as going in, finding 3 to 5 banks, whether they're banks that are specific to your region, right? Whether you live in Memphis, California, New York, and opening a personal checking and a business checkings with them, depositing some money in there and letting it sit. And then from there, if you do have extra funds, making those deposits on a consistent basis on month by month. The reason why, I don't want to get too nerdy here with the business credit side. Most people don't know that banks have a rating system on the back end that they use to rank all their clients. Okay, where do you fall based on your deposit, how much you're depositing and how consistently you're depositing? Most people don't know that. So when you're making these deposits on the back end, you're increasing where you're ranking at higher and higher in the eyes of the bank, so that now when it comes time for you to say, hey, let me get access to capital, you're now able to not only get approved, but maximize the amount of funding that you're able to get approved for. Now, let's say, for example, you're like, Marv, still too complicated. Just tell me where to go. Tell me the different banks that I could look into. Some of the personal banks that I recommend that I'm big proponents of, I'm a big Chase person. So I love Chase Bank because I think it's one of the only banks right now that gives you access to up to 150,000 on one business credit card. Not saying you're going to get that off the rip, right? But as you build the relationship with them, you know that you can get to a point where you're able to get there, right? I also love Chase primarily just because from a banking standpoint, they're just great altogether. But when you have a bank that'll give you access to up to $150,000 on one card, I mean, what are we talking about here? On a regional level, I'm a big fan of Truist Bank. So Truist is a great bank because it allows you to do something called double dip. So pretty much that's when you can apply for multiple cards with one bank, but under the same inquiry, which is super important because if you're in a situation where you can get multiple business credit cards on one inquiry, you preserve your credit reports where you're not, bouncing hundreds of inquiries on it while still maximizing how much capital you can get access to. And another bank that you guys could look into that also does that I'm not too high on them right now because they've been a little stingy, but American Express is also another one that does that as well. So whether you're looking at a Chase, looking at American Express, looking at a Truist, prioritize, number one, looking at banks you already have in your wheelhouse. So for example, if you're watching this and you don't have relationships with any of those banks, let's say you have a relationship with the Wells Fargo, let's say you have a relationship with a PNC Bank and beyond, prioritize looking into their business credit options first, and then from there, you can start looking into some of the other banks that I've mentioned up until this point. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that clip. Real quick before you go, if you're a business owner who knows that your credit or your business structure is standing between you and the funding you need, I want to invite you to Take Off University. It's a community we've created where we teach you how to structure your credit, how to structure your business the right way, and how to access business capital on strong terms. We've created funding roadmaps to help dictate your path to success and a community of other business owners who are going to be working side by side with you, all towards the same goal. Now, if that sounds like where you are right now, and more importantly, where you're headed towards, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can click it, learn more, and come join us. We'll see you on the other side of success. And until next time, family, peace.